Diane and Denmark here, rah, rah, rah. Who is looking for some summer success? In today's video, I have some practical advice, my best tips to help you not just survive the summer, but actually thrive this summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. Perhaps you've got hot days coming up. The kids are at home from school. Maybe you've got some big projects that you want to tackle. In today's video, I've got some easy, doable tips. So you may want to grab yourself a nice glass of water, or maybe a hot chocolate if you're in the southern hemisphere, a notebook, a pen, and I will make sure that, as usual, there are timestamps in the video so you can get all the practical advice there. First tip for when you are beginning to feel a bit anxious about what's coming up, do a quick brain dump. Get everything down on paper, everything that's in your head. We don't have to deal with it right now, but we're just getting it out of our heads and onto paper or onto your phone, an app, whatever you use. And if you want to see how I go further with that, with the getting things done system, works super well with the Flylady system. I've got a whole video series on that, but we're not getting caught up in that today. First thing to help you to kind of ease the stress, a quick brain dump. My second tip is we are going to plan ahead. We're going to look at the week that's coming up and what is it that we want to get done. Now, if you have the kids home from school, maybe you're planning to do some excursions. If you are planning to do a project, maybe you are out in the garden shed and you're wanting to declutter it, or maybe you want to paint a guest bedroom, you're going to look at the week ahead and you're going to plan accordingly. Do you need people's help? Do you need somebody to come and pick up any donations that you find? Do you need to let the kids know in advance that on Tuesday we are heading out to a theme park, so we're going to be getting up a bit earlier that day? Do you see what we're doing here? We're just looking at what's ahead and seeing what's involved, so we're not leaving it to the last minute and getting stressed about it. Perhaps you need some special equipment for your project. If you're painting, have you checked to see that you have got rollers, paint, masking tape? All these things, we're just breaking down our projects, seeing what's involved, and then from there you can start planning. Third tip for summer success is menu planning. And I know many of us, we think, well, it's the summer, or conversely winter, and we're just going to go with the flow. That was a big mistake for me, especially when the kids were really small. Our days, the timing was just all over the place. Everybody works best on having fairly set routines for when they are eating, and you're also going to really set yourself up for success by actually having food in the house. But this is the time that you can slack off a bit and say, okay, I don't need to be cooking everything from scratch. Make sure that you buy extra ready meals. Make sure that you buy extra frozen pizzas that you can keep in the freezer and you can pull out at the last minute. Because where we often go wrong is with not planning anything, we end up always having to stop off for a takeaway or getting a delivery, and that's when things start to fall apart and you're feeling frazzled and you're spending more money and eating stuff that's probably not that great for us. So just a wee bit planning in advance. Plan as much as you can of your meals. Keep it simple, sweetie. You know, my usual rule, K.I.S.S. Go for really easy things that you can eat where we're not having to present 3-course meals. We just need to get ourselves fed, but make sure you've got extra on hand so you can just grab and go. Right, fourth tip is doing regular PUPAs. Now, if you've been with me for a long time, you'll know that PUPA stands for pick up and put away. Now, hopefully, if you've been watching me for a long time, you will no longer be dumping things. You won't put it down, you will put it away. But hey, we can all get bad days. And if you're just starting out with things like the Flylady system, this is a great tip for you. Whether it's you that's kind of dumping things and leaving them, or the kids, you're going to set a timer, as usual, set a trusty timer. I like the ones where you can actually see it counting down. Those are great, especially for kids. And you're going to spend 5 minutes, each of the main rooms, for example, mixing up my Danish and English here. For example, the kitchen, 5 minutes, just picking up things and putting them away. Is it dishes? Do they need to go into the dishwasher? Kitchen gadgets that have been left out, let's get those put away. If it's in the living room, are there kids' toys there? The kids are going to be picking them up and putting them into their toy baskets or taking them back to their rooms. Just 5 minutes. And what I would really suggest is that especially when you've got small kids, or you've got people coming and going in your home at this time of year, that you do this morning before you eat lunch, before you go out for the day, if you're going out for an excursion, so that when you come back into the house, it doesn't look like a bomb has gone off in the place. And of course, you're going to do that as well before you have your evening meal and before you go to bed. And it's just those couple of minutes here and there. And I used to have a rule with the kids, especially when they had friends over for play dates, that they weren't allowed to pull out more than 2 games at a time. And by games, I mean like the Lego blocks, or the dolls, or a ton of books. So if they were going to start playing with another thing, they had to put one of the things away. That way we kind of keep control of it. Right, but what about the house? What about the cleaning? What about all that? Well, you know what I'm going to say here. The main thing is that you keep going with your daily routines. And the daily routines for me are keeping on top of the dishes, keeping the sink area clear, making sure that I am regularly doing LOLs, LOL is a load of laundry, keeping up to date with laundry, getting dressed for whatever is appropriate for the day, whether I am going to the beach or whether I'm working in the garden. And on the subject of routines, it's really, really important that you get your kids involved with this, or other members of the family, because we all thrive on routines. The kids, it may be easy to say, well, I'll just let them sleep all day, or I won't bother asking them for help doing the usual chores because, they're on summer holidays. Actually, kids, they may not want to do these things, but actually gives them a sense of security or familiar things which are going on. So keep going a bit, you don't need to go over the top with this, but still involve them in the daily routines. Make sure they're on some kind of schedule so they're not turning into summer zombies as well. The main thing is that you let them know in advance. If you're going to need help for a project, you say to them, okay, kids, we're doing a project in the garden shed, and I'm going to need your help on Tuesday morning and Thursday afternoon because I need some big mussels. Take the donations and put them in the back of the car. Make it very specific for them so they know when they are required to help, and that also lets them figure out what they want to do with their time. So we're keeping going with our daily routines, and that will vary from person to person, from household to household, and hopefully they'll also change depending on which season it is, or if you are going back to work, or if you're newly retired. I've got plenty of routines help for you on my Flylady refresher course. But you're going to be keeping going with your daily routines. And for the upkeep of the house, the main thing that I do all summer long, or any periods of stress, is keep going with the simple weekly clean. The Flylady one, where you're spending 10 minutes on each of the tasks, quick hoover, quick vacuum, mopping. And the zone work, in periods where I'm really, really busy, or the summer, that's when I ease my foot off the accelerator and I don't worry too much about the zones. Now, of course, if there's something that I see glaringly obvious that needs cleaning in each of the Flylady zones, of course I will do it. But it just gives me that permission to say, it's all right, it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect in the zone each week. I might do a little bit, but if I don't get it, it doesn't matter, because I know that when I'm ready to get back into things, it won't be too bad. I'm keeping going with the weekly consistent cleaning. Okay, on to number 6. I think if you have guesting with you this summer, if you have family coming to visit, please, please, please let them help you. Been there, done that, trying to do all the things, be the perfect hostess with the mostess. And you're just going to run yourself ragged, and nobody's going to enjoy their visit with you. Okay, so if they ask to help, give them a task, give them something that can help you. If you've got family coming to visit, you can say, okay, can you take the youngest out for a quick walk in the stroller? Can you help set the table for dinner? Just small things. Give people something to do, because there's nothing worse than being a guest in somebody's home and having to sit there and see the host or the hostess running around doing everything and getting frazzled, okay? And last tip, number 7, You know what's coming here. Probably the most important thing is make time for yourself every single day. Self-care. And we should make it a drinking game every time I say self-care isn't so important. But I know it's important, and that's why I keep on saying it to you. And I know that sometimes it takes a while to sink in because we've always got that load of laundry that we need to do, or we've always got that project that we want to finish. But honestly, really, you've got to be taking care of yourself. So again, set a timer. It's best if you can set an old-fashioned timer, physical timer, not one on your phone, because you'll be sucked into those notifications and you'll be off down a YouTube dark hole. But just take 5 or 10 minutes for yourself every single day. Even if you've got guests staying, go off to your room and just spend 5 minutes in there, just getting some kind of peace and quiet and peace of mind. If you're needing help, if you don't know what to do for your self-care, I've got tons of ideas on my website, dianedenmark.com. You can scroll through, they're even themed by Flylady Zone. And I've done my self-care for today. Look at this, the first hydrangea or hortensia, whatever it's called in your corner of the world. First hortensia from the garden, and also the peony, the first peony from the garden. These are two of my favorite flowers, along with tulips in the winter, and some hosta leaves, where when my dearly departed Danish mother-in-law, when she used to come and visit, she'd always make a little bouquet of flowers from the garden. And in the summer, she would always cut a few hosta leaves. So I always think about her when I do that. And this is going to be in the kitchen today. And then I'm going to put it on my dressing table just to give me that little hug to start my day or when I'm in my bedroom. And when I see these flowers, I also know that my birthday is coming up. Ooh, birthday at the end of this week, and I've got fun plans for that. What's your best survival tip for the summer or for the winter? These tips can be used anytime you're feeling stressed or in the run-up to Christmas. Write them down, have a look at what you can implement today. You don't need to do all of them today, but just do one thing. And I hope this video has helped you. You can help me, just leave an emoji comment, like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, share with a friend, share it on Facebook. That would really help me. And all I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish summer hygge be with you. And I'll see you very soon with a ra, ra, ra. Okay, bye for now.